Okay, the number of injured runners I've seen over the years who, when I ask them to do a lunge, they end up wobbling around like this, showing me that they really don't have a great degree of control and stability. Obviously, I'm exaggerating there. It's wild. Runners who tell me they do their strength conditioning work tell me that also it doesn't seem to make much of a difference. It doesn't really seem to help in terms of keeping injuries at bay. Well, there's one thing doing it, there's another thing altogether, doing it right, doing it well. So if you know that when you do things like a lunge, you struggle to keep your knee forward over your toes. I'm not talking about knees over toes, I'm just saying knee not collapsing in towards the midline. If you know you struggle to keep this side to side control and stability rather than wobbling around all over the place, and the same goes for if you're doing a single leg squat. Okay, again, little knee bends to start with, or you're going deeper into a single leg squat. If you're struggling with that, keeping the control, keeping the stability, then don't just plow through sets and reps. You've got to focus on quality, because that's how the body learns. And the same goes for another test is if you're doing a side plank, you get people down into a side plank, and after 20, 30 seconds, they're shaking like a dog doing it. Well, you know what I'm trying to say. They're all over the place. Regress things, pull things back. With exercises like, for example, our lunges, as we started out there, or our single leg squats, you can really pull it back to just focusing on the quality of the movement. So, for example, with a single leg squat, take the balance out of the equation. Make it a unilateral, so one-sided exercise without making it a balance exercise. Give yourself the wall to work with. Just work through a range that you can comfortably control. Over time, you can wean yourself off the wall, and it won't come in days. It may not come in weeks, but you'll find that gradually it gets easier and easier. And the same goes with the lunge. If you're finding that as you're lunging, the knee drives in towards the midline, well, again, you can give yourself something to hold on to. Give yourself that reference point. It's a simple win, actually. If you know you're struggling from side to side and you're wobbling around all over the place when you're lunging, go for a slightly wider base of support. Okay, so be here rather than being here. If you're here with a wider base of support, you've got a lot more chance of remaining stable laterally than if you are one foot behind the other. So a lunge looking like this, where your feet are roughly hip width, it's going to feel very different to a lunge looking like this, where you're lunging almost on a straight line. Okay, so just give yourself that opportunity to succeed, because learning quality movement patterns, which is what we're after here, where we're teaching the body from a neuromuscular perspective to learn how to control itself. It's like learning a language. You've got to kind of immerse yourself in the language, immerse yourself in the good quality movement patterns. If you're trying to teach your body how to do a single leg squat, you've got a set of 10, 3 sets of 10 on your program, and the first of any given set, the first 3 look like they're, controlled, down, up, down, and up, all good. But then when we get to 4, things get a bit wobbly, and you power through. Well, what's your body going to remember? What's your body learning there? Pull it back, break it down into, if it's a set of 10, so if it's 3 sets of 10, well, let's go a 4, a 3, and a 3, with a little reset in between each one of those. And that is 1 set of 10. And then you do the same on the other side, you do that 3 times through. The volume is the same, but instead you're breaking it down, so you're repeating success, 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 quality, quality, quality. You're teaching your body what it is you're actually trying to get it to remember get it to learn, get it to do. The same goes with our side planks, as I mentioned earlier. If you're one of the many runners, when you do side plank, you find yourself after 20, 30 seconds really starting to shake and struggle, well, let's start out with just a bent knee side plank here. Give yourself a chance. It's much easier to feel that you're actually able to engage through your obliques in this controlled position. And trust me, 3 sets of 60 seconds here, you'll feel it before you can then progress to going straight leg, longer lever, harder work. So it's not about blindly following a program. It's about starting where you are now, identifying where you are now, what your strengths and weaknesses are, building from where you are now, and gradually teaching your body how to work through good quality movement patterns. Again, for us runners, it's not about lifting heavy weights. Yes, there's a place for that, and there's a place for that, especially if you're kind of out. Let's say you've done your A race for the year. Let's say you've just done an autumn marathon, given where we are in the year now as I'm filming this. You've just done that. You've not got a big focus for 2-3 months before you start building things again. Great period to actually get in the gym and perhaps start lifting. But even then, when you're thinking about adding external load, it's even more important that the technique is nailed down. So you've got to start with those basics. Us runners, like I said, we really need to learn not how to throw big weights around, but how to control our bodies in 3D space, because that's what running is, hopping from one leg to the other leg. If you can't control a lunge, you can't control a single leg squat, if you can't get into a side plank for 30, 60 seconds without feeling like everything's shuddering, how are you going to get on 10 miles into a long run? Chances are probably not great. You'll probably push through, and you'll be able to do that week after week after week until such point that pushing through overloads a certain area. Is that your calf? Is that your IT band? Is it a patellofemoral joint? Is it a low back? For each of us, it's different. Just because you're pushing through and there's not a problem now, doesn't mean that at some point you're not going to find that weak link. So identify the problem, address it. That's what the Bulletproof Runners program is all about. If you're interested in starting good habits, building up consistency with your strength and conditioning work, then do go and check out the Bulletproof Runners program, which is down linked in the description. There's a 7-day free trial. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee. I really want to minimize risk for you guys to make sure that you just give it a go, get started on the foundations program, and start to feel the benefits. Okay? Right. I'll see you over there.